The Love Fridge is a scattered site model of community fridges placed throughout the neighborhoods that provide food and resources to the neighbors in those communities. It started as an Instagram movement, so using social media, Instagram primarily, and using the network of other community fridge operations and people who are sort of engaged in that, we started putting the word out and getting a larger gathering in the city of Chicago that were interested in contributing. We knew that we wanted to start on the south and the west sides, and we looked to communities that reach out to us saying that they are interested. When someone walks across a community fridge, there's going to be signage that expresses that anything within the fridge is to be taken by anyone who needs or wants anything within it. And also, if you have anything you'd like to leave for disbursement into your community, this is also a spot for that to happen. As an organization, certainly we have the optimistic goal of having fresh vegetables, produce, and some kitchen staple items, but we almost will take anything we can get, like canned goods, packaged meals. One of the ways we knew that these fridges would draw attention is from the artwork that they could represent. And there is no shortage of artists that were willing to give their time and their effort and their supplies to do this. The Love Fridge is an incredibly diverse group. Black founded, mostly run by women, with Latinx and Asian volunteers, and queer. It blows my mind to see that we have someone that has a print facility, and we have someone that is a graphic designer. We have someone who has taken her work experience as a project manager and turned that into operating as a treasurer. We have people that provide translations for our materials so that we are able to access the neighbors in our community. We are really trying to get these resources out to everybody that would benefit from them. My neighbors are very happy with it. Certainly my neighbors that are using it are happy with it, but I have been hearing more from neighbors whom I haven't even met yet that are just glad to see something positive on their street. I saw this as an opportunity to enact some good and to be involved in a community with people who also want to see that good and build something that we can be proud of, and I feel proud of this.
My purpose has always been to be able to help people and be a blessing to others, and that's always, that's my energy every day. Born and raised in Inglewood, went to Yale Elementary School, Kennedy King Junior College. I went to Harlan High School, then I went to Howard University, and now I'm back in my community. And I have been serving my community for 40 years and enjoying every minute of it.
200 Pharmacy.
I've always wanted to own my own business. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I wanted to go to pharmacy school and also be a health professional as well as a business person. We're a compounding pharmacy. Compounding is where we customize medications to meet a patient's specific need. And of course, we have to work with the doctor to do that. We call it the triad, meaning patient at the top, pharmacist, and doctor working together to meet a patient's individual needs. It's the triad. As soon as the pandemic hit, we started talking about ways that we can actually accommodate our patients a little better than where they're getting someplace else. I have this saying that chaos is an opportunity for us to reach our full potential. And that's how I look at chaos. And that's how I look at any kind of adversity. It gives you time to just kind of sit back and reflect who you are, where you came from, what's your purpose, and then you start finding opportunities. We have some young tech-savvy employees, and they set the system up where we can have a prepaid pickup service in the back. They would text us to let us know that they're in the back along with their name, and then we would bring it out to their car and they're off and run it.
My dad's always been a community-oriented person, and the fact that, a lot of the pharmacies and medical supply companies were closed down, and the fact that he stayed open, it shows that he's putting the customer first.
I get a lot of satisfaction when people tell me that they appreciate me, because I actually tell my patients that as well. But when they tell me they appreciate it for something I've done, it just keeps me going. I try to even empower other people to strive to be a blessing to others as well. And then to me, that's what makes good community.
Just Embrace is a nonprofit hospitality house. We are a faith community. We have a worshiping community. Our goal is to use our home as a place of hospitality, generosity, and inclusivity. COVID happened, and we were no longer able to gather in our home and gather in our yard like we would. I saw our gate as just a perfect place to utilize that resource as a tool of community lament and community grief and community celebration of life. We as a community, when we lose someone that we love in our neighborhood, we make a poster with their picture and maybe a Bible verse and just a paragraph describing the impact that they had on our community and our family. And we tie that to our gate. And we leave it up for months because we want our neighborhood to mark the loss of life. I think it's important to us as humans. It's not like a value that we have that's unique. Like, that is an important part of the human experience, is to grieve and to mark the loss of those that we've loved around us. And so I got these ribbons and I cut them all up, 4,000 ribbons I think we have on hand. And then we put markers out so that our neighbors could write the names of their loved ones that had passed, or their own thoughts or their prayers, or just anything that they were compelled to write as they stood in front of this gate with this visible indicator of how many sacred lives we've lost. What's next for Just Embrace is really, we just want to feel like we can stay and get back to throwing parties, get back to throwing events for our neighbors. I have no intentions of taking it down until COVID has passed and we've had sufficient time to really sit in our grief.
I just hear somebody needed a desk. Come on in, I got you. We got back to school in August. We first started doing our remote learning, and you know, it's a little bit of a struggle to get the kids to turn their cameras on. But I started to notice when kids were turning their cameras on, I'd either be seeing like their bedroom wall with some posters on it or the ceiling. So I just kind of posed the question in the class, like, hey, yo, where are you guys working from right now? Like, are you guys working in your own area? Is it like a common area in the house? And a lot of kids were saying that they're just laying in bed all day. So I just thought, you know, the least I could do as a woodshop teacher, like if I'm worth my own salt, I can make a desk for some kids. You know, I teach woodshop, but I want to have as much impact as I can. And, you know, I only see these kids 1 hour a day. And if building them a desk could help them for 7 hours out of the day, that's the type of impact I'm looking to have. So when I first dropped off the desks and I was able to see the look on my students' face and their reactions, it was a really special moment. You know, people don't realize, as a teacher, like I haven't seen these kids since March. You know, school just abruptly ended. And the first desk I dropped off was one of my students, Jalen.
I had heard a bus outside, and then I was like, wait, I think that's Mr. Coyle, my teacher. So I looked out the window, and I flew down the stairs because I was happy to see him.
And he swung open his door, and he was like, yo, Mr. Coyle. They yelled it from his house. I was like, Jay, what's up, buddies?
And I was like, it's good to see you. He was like, it's good to see you too, man.
It was just really one of those moments, like a very human connection that, you know, a lot of us are missing. And I haven't had as a teacher in how many ever months now. So it was one of those moments I don't think I'll ever forget it. As a teacher, like I'm proud of the things I do in the classroom. So when I decided to share it to Facebook, it kind of blew up way more than I expected. It picked up really quick. Right when I posted it and I started seeing like after like after like, I was like, oh man, this is gonna get big. I have heard from people from Arizona willing to set up, you know, donations. I've heard of people from Atlanta, Georgia saying, hey, that's a wonderful story. It's just been all over the place, from people up in Milwaukee to Chicago to neighboring school districts. You know, a few students have actually said, you know, hey, Mr. Coyle, I know you're huge now. Please don't get famous and leave us at school. I was really scared when I first started like e-learning because it's difficult. You know, you wonder if you're still going to have those connections with kids that you had, you know, face to face. I'm always trying to, you know, leave an impression on my students. And that's really what drives me. You know, if kids could look back, you know, 20 years from now and say, yo, Mr. Coyle was a pretty cool teacher back in the day, like that makes me smile.
Oh, he is my favorite teacher. Mr. Coyle, yeah, he's my favorite teacher. He helped me a lot. He helps a lot of people. Whenever they need help, he right there.